All right, day one of our 40-day journey, and this day one says 100 days. 100 days means of all the gospel accounts, of all of the treasures that we have about Jesus's life, the author says that this accounts for just about 100 days of Jesus's life. Only 100 days. Can you imagine your life basically being shared with someone else in stories that add up to 100 days? Remember, this was a young man in Israel, but what does that mean for us? Because where was Jesus all the rest of the time? We only have one account of Jesus in his childhood besides his birth. And so what was he doing for most of that time? Now, the New Testament is given to us in Greek, and the word that describes Jesus's vocation is tekton, which doesn't just mean a carpenter. It actually means more like a craftsman. He could have been working with stone. He could have been working with wood. But the point is this. He had a trade. He was a tradesman. And it's no wonder that his disciples, many of them were just tradesmen. He was truly a man of the people, at home with blue-collar workers. And so to answer the question, what was Jesus doing for most of his life that we have no account of? Well, Jesus was doing what each of us do in our lives as well. Working, resting, learning, growing, eating, thinking, laughing, mourning, and day by day discerning his vocation. Jesus was doing all of that with friends, his community. It was enjoyable. It was challenging in the context he called home. And so here is the vital point the author is making. All of life is important to Jesus because all of life is important to God. Jesus was no more holy as a rabbi than he was as a tekton. We look at Jesus and think he's untouchable. He is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He's our Savior. He is God. But remember, what is not being said is that ordinary life is a gift. That we look sometimes at this life as one trial after another sometimes. And what God is saying is this, that each moment, each day is precious. No, it doesn't have to have a gospel account. No, it doesn't need a book. It is to be lived fully. And Jesus shows us that even God as man came to enjoy life in its ordinariness and its commonness, and he celebrates it, and he holds on to its richness. It's not just some test for us to get through our boredom, to get through our daily grind. It is to be held like a treasure. And so we end this day realizing that Jesus' life, while we have these 100 days to account for, let's remember the rest of his life as well. Even though it's not explicitly said or described, we know that he lived amongst people, he lived amongst community, and that was part of his purpose too. Emmanuel, God with us. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.